Okay, so hey guys, I literally had so many horror gameplays lined up, but when I played them, they just weren't as interesting. I couldn't get my friend to play that much. So instead, we're gonna do Find the Hamsters, while I talk about times I or someone I have known almost been kidnapped. And I think it's maybe a total of 3 stories. Since this isn't a really good gameplay, then I'll actually edit it as good as I could. And I'm sorry because I know this video is going to be late, but you know, I just felt sleepy. That's the best I could do. I may just start towards let's find towards this guide. Hello, how can I help you? How do I find hamsters? Explore the area to find hamsters, walk or climb. Okay. So, getting kidnapped. Or almost kidnapped. What fun that is. It's fantastic. The first story is a story I hope doesn't get overheard because I haven't told my parents about it yet. But, anyway, so me and my friends go to a mall. It's me, my friend, I'm gonna call her Alyssa, just for the sake of not name dropping. Me, Alyssa, and her 2 sisters, I'm gonna call them Katie and Kenna, I guess? I don't know. But the 2 sisters, Katie and Kenna, they're her younger sisters, and me and the girls went to the mall. I usually don't go. Oh, I have a little hamster! We usually don't go places with her little sisters, but this time was an exception. I feel absolutely insane for talking to myself, but yeah. Cool hamster, that's dope. Do I get a radio hamster? Burger hamster. Anyways, so me... What did I call her? Alyssa, okay. Me, Alyssa, and... Maybe I should write a script for this. Nah. Me, Alyssa, Katie, and Kenny went to the mall. And everything was going fantastic. We were walking around, getting a bunch of stuff from the mall. So basically, everything's going fine until we go to... What is it called? I don't even remember the actual name. Oh, Blair's. We're gonna call it Blair's. So we go to Blair's, and it's a very small shop in our mall. And there already isn't enough space to walk around too much without multiple people in your face. These hamsters are gonna be insane to find. Well, anyways, there's already not enough space to go around, and we're already going over there as the 4 of us, so it's already a pretty big group, and there's a bunch of people in there too. About another group of kids with 2 girls and I think a boy, and a bunch of other people, a cashier and stuff, whatever. So we're looking around, and we get to the area of the glasses, and I am walking behind all of the sisters because I immediately go into protective mode. I don't know, follow the leader type. I'd rather be behind them. And I noticed that this person is going very close to us as we're shopping for things, but I was like, whatever, this is a very small store. There's absolutely no space. He could be looking for something different, even though he was a grown man, now that I think of it. I thought he was with somebody else, or a store person. I think he's a store person, so I'm just still minding my own business. Until we were looking right, and I have no idea where I'm going. So I look for something, and turn around very sharply, and accidentally get in this guy's face. This guy, he seems like an older guy, probably like in his 30s, 20s, 30s. and he seemed well kept. He wasn't like giving off crazy creepy vibes or anything, but either way, I bumped into him, and he didn't seem mad or anything at the moment. But now thinking, oh, I just fell so far. Now kind of looking at it, I don't think bro was very pleased. Anyways, I accidentally bumped into this person. I got a little worried. I was like, whoa, sorry. And I looked back at my friend Alyssa and started laughing because I almost ran into someone. It's pretty funny. And I looked back at the guy and I was like, dang, I almost ran into him. He scared me for a second. And then the guy looked up at the same, well, because there was a mirror on top of the roof, and, well, not on top, at the very top, but sort of like the corners of the roof, so where you can see all the stuff that you're getting and whatnot. And I see him looking up at the same mirror, kind of looking at me through the mirror. And it's a little weird, but I'm known to be in awkward situations, so I just move along. And we all move along. So we keep walking through, keep looking at things. We keep looking at the glasses, and her little sisters start saying, hey, this dude is kind of following us. I think we should probably leave. And I was like, well, if the kids are saying it, then we should probably leave. But Alyssa was like, no, he's probably going the same way. We'll just keep going. It doesn't matter. If he wants to follow us, he can. It's not that big of a deal. He's not going to do anything anyways. She basically said whatever, and we continued looking and stuff. We were going in circles to the point where you cannot possibly be following us without following us. There's code to this. This bro was following us. And the faster we went, the faster he went. So it started getting more concerning, and we all decided to actually leave. But as we're leaving, we notice we all go in a single file line, and as we're leaving, he reaches out a hand, and I hear Alyssa say, I think he just caressed my back. And I was like, what? So immediately we were walking extremely fast, thinking maybe he'll just leave us alone if we start running. And he didn't. He kept walking and walking with right behind us. And I'm not exactly sure, maybe he thought we were stealing or something, but he was still chasing us, and even if he thought we were stealing, he would have went for her shoulder, not her back. And he reached for me too. I think he did touch me, but it's been a while since I've since I said anything or anything. But he basically kind of touched our back. I don't know if it was an attempt to grab at us or if he was trying to tell us something, but either way, we ran. And you would think that we would want to say something. We would try saying something like, hey, there's someone trying to get at you, tell them to stop, tell them to go away. And you know, that thing in movies where it's you're so scared you can't even scream or talk? You're over here shouting at this character to scream, say something, do something, but they just don't, out of fear, I guess? Well, I think that was exactly how it felt. At that moment, I just couldn't say anything. The only thought in my mind was getting all of us somewhere to where we can lose him. So we started running around the mall. The thing is that there's always a security guard in the middle of the hub where everything usually is. I just died. Fantastic. There's usually a security guard right there by where everybody is. And I'm not sure if he was changing shifts, but the point is, he wasn't there. So we were just running. He was speed walking really fast and following right behind us. And I'm not sure how nobody noticed that there was 4 girls running away from a grown man. But they did it, and so we ran into a GameStop. So as we get into this GameStop, we're over here scared out of our brains, and we don't know exactly what to do, so we run around the GameStop. And it's a very small store, so we go around this kind of aisle piece that they have. It's a little shelf thing that they have. we stare at this GameStop employee, the cashier at the front, and he's all, are you, like, okay, at first he sounded annoyed. He was like, why are you guys running? Because, I mean, there's 4 teenagers running around. Of course, that seems a little mischievous. There's cracks in back there. It seemed a little mischievous, but then the person seemed, I can't speak. Then the person seen that there was somebody, like, swiftly running behind us, and at that point the man had slowed down a little to talk to the cashier. And once he asked us that question of why are you guys running, I looked at him so crazy in his eyes, looked back to the stranger that was following us, and then went right back to the cashier, and he was like, it seemed like he knew at that point what was going on. The stranger guy started talking to the GameStop owner, and we took it as a chance to leave. Even though we could have stayed there and confronted him, we left because somehow that was a lot better in our minds, and it seemed better for us. I mean, yeah. And what we did was we started fast speed running into the topic. And thankfully those people there, the cashier over there, they immediately seen that something was wrong, because we were all shaken up, like, talking about what was happening, and the cashier was like, what's wrong, you guys, what happened? And we were telling him the story. We were all panicky, so we were all kind of jumbling it up a little bit, but basically we told him what happened, and he was asking if we could give him a description of the person. But we didn't really see him as clearly, and because I can never pay attention to anything around me, the best description we could give him was, it was a white guy, probably white guy, and around his 30s, with a fanny pack, or a bag, with, I don't know, he looked cleaned up. He wasn't like, he didn't look like no crazy psychopath or homeless guy or anything. He just looked like a normal person. So we didn't think anything was that wrong until he started chasing us and trying to touch us. Not inappropriately, but he was reaching out for us. So we told the hot topic cashier what was wrong, and they asked if we needed a chaperone to guide us out of the mall, and asked if we had our parents so that we could call home. And we were really scared, but we were barely. Somehow in our mind, it was better for us to just leave as fast as we can to the other mall across the street, because there was 2 separate malls and they were basically the same thing but with different stores. So what we did was we went out of the back entrance and to walk out to the other mall outlet, because we were thinking, well, it's pretty far, so he wouldn't really go there. Luckily, he didn't, and that is the end of the craziest thing, but still, it was still scary for us. And we all went into their, I'm gonna say Curlington. Well, we all went into their Curlington, went into their chair aisle, and we were all sitting down talking. We were telling a few people that we knew about what happened, and I don't know, we were just talking about all of it, because the fact that even if he thought that it was a couple teenagers stealing, you wouldn't be just chasing someone. You would say something. You would like tell them to stop. You wouldn't like reach out for them like that. Already got that one. And I don't know, we were all just talking about it. We weren't exactly sure what to do in the situation. I was telling my friend about how I felt like I couldn't say anything until after, and we all were safe. Still, being chased by someone like that, an older man, was a little spooky. Honestly, I think it was more scarier for my friends. And I'm not sure how it wasn't as scary for me, because I was, in my head, I was safe, so as long as the worst was over, nothing too crazy could ever happen. Could really happen after that. And I was kind of right, I guess. But while we were walking around the other mall, we were still on edge. We were looking around every corner to make sure that the person didn't follow us there. And it didn't seem like they followed us there, and they didn't. So after maybe an hour of calming down inside of the Curlington, we called for my dad to take us home. And we left. And I'm not sure what to do if anything else like that happens. I should probably give a demonstration of this hamster. So imagine this hamster's a man. The man. We should go to somewhere. So we're walking, I guess. This would be the corner that the security guard is usually at. We walked around, nobody there. We ran into... This is actually perfect. We ran into this GameStop. We were running around with the guy. Okay, found a hamster. This guy was following us. He was top speed. And we stopped to look because he stopped somewhere back there. Exactly how my hamster is. Wow. Paid actor? We were about right here, and the hamster should be over here, but it was not working. Where did my hamster go? Anyways, he was right there. And he was like, "What's wrong?" And we looked at him and the dude. Him and the dude. And then the dude started coming up to cashier, so we bolted. We ran like there's no tomorrow. How are you still here? You're supposed to stop chasing me. The guy stopped chasing us at that point. So basically, when we went into the topic, we started talking to imaginary cashier. And everything was fine after that. My friend almost had a panic attack, but otherwise we came out unscathed. And it was pretty okay. I have to ask permission to tell the next story, so... The next story that I got permission to say... Oh. These doors work? Anyways. So here's the next story. Me and my sister, her code name shall be Tilly. So funny to me. Anyways, me and Tilly were chilling in our living room. I'm not exactly sure what we were doing before, but basically we thought it was a good idea to go out with our dog in the house. Lo and behold, we opened the door and guess what happened? That little left. He up and left. He was running around. He has a habit of going out anyways, but he always comes back, and he's never really lost because somehow he's never been gone for more than a day, and he always comes back. But that's not the point. The point is that he left the house, and my sister was feeling a little adventurous and was trying to find him. And at one point he goes not even like maybe a block around our house, and he stopped to sniff something, I guess. And my sister was trying to get him back. She was running up and down the neighborhood before that, and it looked pretty silly, but was I already here? Oh, it was. Fine. But anyways, my sister was trying to find the dog, and he had stopped, so she was trying to call out to him, and he ran off just a little bit more. We thought, oh, that's insane, we're never getting this dog chasing down, but whatever. Until this guy showed up. He rolled up very slow around the corner, and I thought he was gonna pass, but he went slower and he stopped, rolled down his window, and then asked my sister, "Is your dog lost?" And we were like, what? He's like, do you need help finding your dog? And I was like, what? I told my sister Tilly, get back here. You have to go back in the house, bro. Get back here. And she was not hearing a thing I was saying. And she was all like, yeah. Because for some reason she had to say yeah. And anyway, she said yeah. And he tried talking to her further. But eventually she got the sense to leave. And bro finally drove off. I think when he saw me go up, because I started walking, speed walking my way over there to see what was going on so I could get her away. And then he drove off, which was like, thank goodness. But am I just going in circles now? Oh, look, police officer. Police officer. You should have helped it. I'm just kidding. But I didn't know. But yeah, she probably almost got kidnapped. It could have been just a random helpful person, but you can never be too careful these days. And the funny thing is that my sister, after telling the story, was like, plus he was bald and white, so you don't know what was gonna happen, I guess. I guess she ran away after seeing that he was bald and white. I don't know. That's a pretty common face of serial killers, so I wouldn't trust any man, period, but at least she has a line. One story that I do have, I don't even remember it exactly, but my friend was texting me. She was like, some guy just tried to roll up on us and try to roll up on my sisters and kidnap them. I was like, what? She was telling me the story. The same friend, Alyssa, Katie, and Kenny, they were walking, hanging out at their cousin's house or whatever. They were like by the street or something, and this guy rolled up hecka close to everybody and was talking about he was talking to the little girls, and my friend Alyssa, she was like, oh hell nah, and she started walking up to him, and luckily he drove off, but it's the fact that he was still trying to get them to get in their car. Luckily Kenny and Katie knew better, so they did not go in the car, thank goodness. There's always people out there that you cannot trust, and there may be people you can't trust, but honestly, unless you have some scanner that can read their face and show their prior history, there is really no safe spot. So I would suggest thinking twice about any stranger you talk to. Whoever you are, please watch out for any stranger that you talk to. Make sure that they are not trying to get you into their car or to some other place where you didn't let them take you. Well, not didn't let them take you. Just be sure you don't get in their car or anything like that. If you ever hear, yeah, I can help you do this or that, just think about it. Because I know there is just some kind people that want to help you along, but at the same time, people be creepy. I'm going to have a lot to edit, and I don't think this video is going to be as long. And I'm definitely not finding all of these hamsters. So, this is the story time for this video. And I hope I can actually get somebody to play with me so that I can make better videos for you guys in the future. Even though there's like 3 people watching so far. I hope the algorithm... Is that a table hamster? What the hell? I hope the algorithm isn't too mean to me because I can't keep exactly consistent. It's a little difficult trying to find the perfect video to post. And I had really good ideas, really good gameplays because I had pre-recorded a few. I had like 3 gameplays in a row, so I wasn't like worried about anything else. I think I still do have at least 1 more gameplay along with the ones that I did just record, but the ones that I did record, they were kind of booty cheeks, so I don't think I will be recording or editing any more of those until I can find someone to play with. And if you're talking about the person that I was playing with last time, I'm not sure if they want to play yet. So, and I think my next video, if it's not a gameplay, it may be me just cooking something as one does. You won't be seeing my face, but you will probably be seeing my hands. Hand reveal, I guess. People do that. They do, and I've seen it before, but that's still strange. But I hope you guys enjoy the video. Leave a like or a comment. I wouldn't pressure you to subscribe because I can't even get my gameplays together. So, bye guys. Have a nice day.